A very good evening, everyone. Welcome to the YouTube channel of PRATHAM Test Prep. My name is Shreya Srivastav, and we will be doing another session on Boost Your Vocabulary. This is episode number 5, and I am here with some idioms that we're going to discuss, and probably through those idioms, we'll also be discussing a few words, right? Okay. Before I begin, I would just very quickly want to tell you that I hope you've already subscribed to the channel and you have hit the bell icon so that if we're going live with anything at all, you would be notified about it and that you don't skip or miss out on anything. Alright, on that note, let's begin with our very first idiom. We're going to do 5 of them today. So the first idiom that we will be looking at is a pink elephant. Now, when we speak of the pink elephant, it's something that is not very lucrative, something that is difficult to maintain. So, someone like a burden. So, it can be a burden to the company, it could be a burden to, your group, or if you are very regular on what your skills are and you haven't really worked on your skills a lot. So whatever you were, let's say 5 years ago, you're still the same and you haven't upgraded on your skills, then you're a pink elephant. Okay, so when there is no upskilling, no skill upgradation, or when you're a burden to the company, you are a pink elephant. Okay, a very similar idiom to pink elephant is something that we call a white elephant. Slightly different in terms of meaning though. Pink elephant is a burden to the company and white elephant is something that is extremely expensive, right? Something that's very expensive, very costly, costs a lot of money, or you pay it through your arm and leg. That is a white elephant, and pink elephant is just like a burden. So let's look at a sentence first from this idiom. The idiom, the sentence is, after 5 years, he became a pink elephant. So that means maybe after 5 years, he hadn't really changed anything at all about him. Maybe he had not upskilled himself, maybe, or wasn't giving enough to the company, maybe. So all of those things will lead to your being a pink elephant. Okay, so let's look at some words that are related to a pink elephant. You can be a liability. So when you're a liability, it's more like, okay, you're like a burden, people will have to carry you around, right, and you're not really contributing very much. So that is a liability. Then you speak of impediment. Impediment is again like something like of an obstacle. Okay, so when you're like a hindrance in somebody's progress and somebody's growth. So that can be an impediment. You can be an impediment to the company's growth. So in that way, you're a pink elephant. Another very interesting idiom is Achilles' heel. Now, Achilles' heel is basically one very big weakness that Achilles had. Okay, and so then your pink elephant becomes your Achilles' heel or your weakness, something that will create some sort of a burden or some sort of an obstacle, a hindrance of some sort. The fifth word, or technically like the fourth word actually, is encumbrance. Encumbrance is again the same thing. You're like a liability, you're an encumbrance to a company, you can be an encumbrance to a group, to your family or whatever. So it necessarily doesn't have to be just about a company. It can be to anything or anybody where you are not contributing enough and you become the responsibility or the liability of a certain group, right? So that's pink elephant. And please don't get confused with the white elephant, because the white elephant is something that's very expensive. Okay, so that's a first idiom. Let's look at the second idiom now. For our second idiom, we have Elvis has left the building. When you say Elvis has left the building, it basically means that everything's over. The show is done. It's all done and dusted. Okay, your show is over, you can leave, right? That's basically when we say Elvis has left the building. Alright, the opposite of this idiom would be it ain't over till the fat lady sings. Right, that's basically the opposite of this idiom. When you say it's all over, you say Elvis has left the building. When it's not over yet, you say it ain't over till the fat lady sings. And so the idea behind the fat lady singing was basically the finale of an opera. Okay, so at the end of an opera, the fat lady sings, right? So that's the idea. So first one means everything is over and it's all done and dusted. The second one means it's not over yet. Okay, so the finale is yet to happen. That's the meaning of the second idiom. Right, so let's look at the sentence. It says, Elvis has left the building and it's time to go home, which means it's all over, everything is done and dusted, and we can all now go home. Alright, let's look at some words that you can use for Elvis has left the building. First is finale. The second one is denouement. Denouement is almost like a climax. Alright, it's like the finale, the ending, or the culmination. Okay, that's basically what denouement or culmination is. So something that happens right towards the end is finale, denouement. So make sure that you're pronouncing this correctly. It's denouement. And so the word came especially when we were speaking of theatre, right? So the end or the finale of a theatre was used to be called denouement, and that's where the word climax also came from. And then you have culmination. Right, so there were two idioms through this. One is Elvis has left the building, which means everything is over. And when you say everything's not over yet, you say it ain't over till the fat lady sings. Okay, so those are your two idioms from here. Let's move to the third idiom for the day. Okay, for the third idiom, you have grape wine. An interesting idiom because when you hear something on the grape wine, it's something more like a rumor. It's when you say something like, the rumor has it, alright, or the word on the street is, or when you say, a little birdie told me, right? These are some ways or some phrases you use when you're saying, you know, that I haven't really heard it from a very formal source. I haven't really heard it from the horse's mouth, but I have heard it from some people and I'm not kind of sure, or I'm not going to probably tell you what the source is. So it's more like a rumor. It's something that people are speaking of, alright, and it's not officially announced. So grapevine is basically an informal way in which information is shared in a group of people. So you might want to say, I heard it on the grapevine. That's one of the ways of saying it. The second is the word on the street is. Okay, the word on the street is. You can also say the chatter. So the chatter on the street. The third way of saying it is rumor has it. And fourth could be a little birdie told me. Right, so all of these are when you say that I have heard it from somebody, but it's not a very formal source. Okay, sentence wise, first one says, we hear on the grapevine that the companies are discussing a merger. That means it's not an official announcement. It isn't something that the office has or the management has said it out loud or proclaimed. So which means that it's just still something that is not very official. It's something that you've just kind of overheard somebody speak, or it's just like a rumor. So then when we look at the words around it, first word then you can think of is canard. So a canard is again a rumor. Hoax is again when you say something is not entirely true, or you're not 100% sure if it's true or not. And the third one is labrish. Labrish is basically gossip. Okay, so grapevine can be like a gossip. Canard, hoax, labrish, rumor, all of these then can be used as for a word gossip. Okay, so that's our third idiom. Hearing on the grapevine, the word on the street, rumor has it, a little birdie told me. All of those are just kind of some words that you can think about for a rumor or a gossip you've overheard. Alright, so that's our third idiom. Let's look at the fourth idiom for the day. So for the fourth idiom, it says 5 o'clock shadow. Interesting idiom because when you speak of a 5 o'clock shadow, it's just kind of, we're speaking of somebody's beard on the face, right? So when you see that a man has shaved his face and he isn't exactly clean shaven, there's just like some hint of beard on his face now, that's what a 5 o'clock shadow means. So it's slight darkness in a man's face, especially around his chin, which is caused by the growth of hair during the day, or not during the day especially, or maybe over a course of the days, right? So when we in our English language also call stubble. Okay, so stubble is again like a very light beard, not very heavy bearded person, but like a very light stubble or a light beard is a 5 o'clock shadow. So at the onset of No Shave November, which is a thing we have every year, we started seeing 5 o'clock shadow on his face. That means on the onset, like when people had stopped shaving, we started seeing like some hint of beard on the face of men, and not very dark one, like a very light, a hint of beard. So that's a stubble, or that's 5 o'clock shadow, right? So that was our fourth idiom. Let's head quickly to our fifth idiom for the day, which is have or get 40 wings, right? So that's our fifth idiom, have or get 40 wings. 40 wings, wings basically means a nap. Okay, so a short sleep during the day, a short nap, especially in the afternoon time, is 40 wings. So having or getting 40 wings is basically trying to catch some sleep during the day. Okay, so my dad likes to have 40 wings on Sundays. That means he likes to sleep in the afternoon, alright, rest for a bit. And so what are the words that you can use for sleeping in the afternoon especially is siesta. Now siesta actually technically not an English word, it is a Spanish word. Okay, it comes from a Spanish origin, which necessarily means, sleep during the day or an afternoon sleep. So siesta is that. Then you have cat nap. Cat nap also a short nap, again especially during the day, and also kip. Kip also means the same thing, a nap during the day. So these are some words that you can use. So having cat nap, trying to catch a kip, or having the siesta. Those are some words that you can use for a short sleep, especially in the afternoon time, or having 40 or getting 40 wings. All of these basically mean when you're speaking of sleeping during the day, right? So those were our 5 idioms that we did, and I have also kind of included some words around it. Make sure that you're noting them down, using them in your normal daily language, because honestly this isn't something just for entrances, but it will definitely help you in in bettering your spoken skills, spoken English skills. And so all of these words are not words that you will know are very complicated. They're actually very nice words and something that you can use in your day-to-day lives, right? Okay, on that note, I am going to take a leave. I hope you had some fun. Make sure that you're writing them down, also liking the video if you liked it. Make sure you have subscribed to the channel and hit the bell icon so you get notified of any live that's happening on our channel very soon. Thank you so much everyone. Have a very, very good day, good night, and I will see you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.